So this is the first game with my mono black splash blue and red against an erhnam setup red green, and it's one of our newer players, Jesper, and he's on the play. As far as I remember, I was on had a pretty sick opening hand in this game, and the next one as well, I'm afraid. He's opening up with a Scavenger Folk, solid card, and starting out with a lower, drawing immediately into a Mox Jet. And now, I guess he's contemplating whether to blow up the jet, but decides to try and keep up the pressure and kill me before the card advantage gets too big. And he continues the curve with an Elvis Archer. I decide to try and rob him from some of his steam by discarding two of his cards. I'm actually at a pretty big card advantage now, and the pressure is really on for him to try and finish this game early. I'm still within lower range, and follows up with more critters and attack with the Archer. Now he's deciding to blow up the jet. Why he does this on my turn, I don't really know. Could be a mistake, as I can use it for a Dark Ritual if I needed to. But perhaps he had some thought process behind it, I don't know. I put down the mace just to stall for time. The longer this game takes, the better. And now into Ancestral Recall, this is just filthy. Yeah, I think the card advantage is getting so large now that it's probably game over at this point. I can still draw from lower now. Playing the first creature at Yusumjin. That's well above the strength level of what he has. Strip mining his only mountain, and continues to draw from the library and attacking with the Yusumjin now that he can't use Bolt, and following up with another one. This is probably more or less game over at this point, I think. But Jesper is a sport and continues to play the game. His only outs now are Giant Growths against the Yusumjins. And I bought the Kurdev at this point. That was probably a mistake. I should have waited, because I could have countered a Giant Growth with it, by killing the creature before the Giant Growth resolves, or luring him into blocking a Yusum with all his creatures and then bolting one. I probably wanted to draw out his Giant Growth, but nevertheless, that was suboptimal. Now he's in a bit of a pickle. He decides to sacrifice his Script Sprite, probably realizing that a Giant Growth would, on the Elvis Archer, would at least make it possible for him to kill one of the gens. And sorry about the glare, folks, but that's a Hypnotic Spectre. You can see Jesper draws a Fireball at this point, and he has the red mana from the bird. So at this point he's contemplating whether to kill the Spectre or just fireballing my face. And he decides to fireball me. I think that's the correct play in this situation, as killing the Spectre would not help him enough, as he'll be dead in a few turns by the gens. He needs to get me within bolt range and then just hope that he can keep on top decking bolts. and getting help from the Dusums as they damage me each turn. So that's probably his only out, and he's playing for it. Now it's the last stand, and not sure what I'm doing here, but I decide just to bolt him. I could have ended that bit by just bolting the Elvis Archer and just getting through, but nevertheless, that's 1-0 for the mono black deck. Round 2. This is after sideboarding. We decided to try and test out sideboards against each other. This is not a tournament, just a friendly game, but nevertheless, we wanted to see what we could bring against each other. I know, or I have a very strong suspicion that he has packed his deck with Whirling Dervishes by this point. And Factory, and I start with Lotus and a couple of Moxen into a Mind Twist. This is just horrible. I was making that thumbs up ironically because I was feeling so bad about that opening. There's almost nothing to do, and then just waiting for his Factory to attack, and now he's pretty mana screwed. So the two first games that I recorded was just filth on filth for the opening hands by my side, and now I just keeps on robbing him of his mana, and now the Factory has just an open field to attack because he can't bolt it. And this is actually the worst thing about an early Mind Twist is if you can mana screw the opponent like this, and I'm just racing in for the kill at this point. Bolting whenever I get the chance and just piling on the pressure. Another bolt. Down at 2 and Underworld Dreams, and yeah, that's it. We continue to round 3. Yeah, that's Danish for sorry. It was a pretty nasty opening, but it's a fast deck Jesper plays. He curves out perfectly each time, and I started with low in the hand again. You could almost think that I had packed the deck just for this occasion. He's producing a lot of threats early in this game. This is quite nice. Just needs a Pendelhaven. Oh, and finally he counters the lower pretty early, so there's a game here. Try to get back into the play by removing some of the threats, but at this point it's actually, yeah, I'm missing a second black mana source, so I'm using the Lotus just to cast a Spectre and try to keep the fairies at bay. Now he has a bit of a decision here. He can't strip mine and use it to cast an erhnam, which I terror, and then I remove the strip mine. So now I can attack with the Factory, and we trade with sprites for the Spectre. As he has no red mana, I feel confident that I can attack without repercussions, following up with an orb. And he wanted to use the bird there, but it has summoning sickness. And dreams, and now I'm just applying more pressure by removing his red mana sources. And it makes it possible for me to keep on attacking with the Factory. So another erhnam comes down. This is actually a problem for me because I only have one terror in the deck. Okay, wheel. I'm using wheel. And oh yeah, that That actually probably kills him because there's a dream out. Just need to draw a lightning bolt. Got the mace. Ritual. Lightning bolt twister, yeah. I'm just showing off at this point. Ridiculous. But it's a fun game nonetheless. The final 2 rounds we played that evening was a bit more even-sided, and I will try to upload those in the near future. Thank you for watching.